They say that actions speak louder than words, and nothing could be further from the truth. But we do have someone trying to start their Dams racing cart. Is that possibly Bolowet due to start on the inside of row 3 in 5th place? But here is your final starting order for the Senior Road Tax Final for the 2024 Champions Winter Trophy. Jaden Teen will start from pole position. We've also had one of the Larea carts go around at turn 4. Archie Buttle starts in 2nd on the front row. Timo Jungling and Tommy van der Stroys round out row number 2. Bolowet and Macaulay Bishop due to start row 3. Row 4, Lawrence Herboz and Jort van Wyk complete the top 8 positions. Australia's Iva Anagnostiidis and Germany's Luca Thiel round out the top 10 places. Then we got Mika van der Pavanovic Stevens, row 6. Row 7, Christoph Saller and Krit Kruren. Row 8, Sverre Ubben and Julian Zednica. Row 9, Ralph van der Peyvert and Luca Schlegel. Matthijs Karnijak and Danny Shields ran at the top 20. Wout Kirstens, Puck Gubble, Zeno Falka, Martin Gaiskens, Kaz Boshaus, Kevin Navis, Bram Plomp, Paul Hamburg, Dante Sima and Muck Schuppmann round out the top 30, completing the packed out and maxed out grid. Flynn Fitters, Yannick Mike Gabrich, Gregor Feigenspan, Luca Brima, Sasha Aim and Alexandra Aim being the last 2 that qualified out of the 46 that joined us here for this weekend. "14 minutes plus 1 lap to decide our inaugural Champions Winter Trophy winner. Any one of at least, I think probably in the top 9 to 10 rows of this grid. That makes out 20 out of 36 drivers that have a definite chance of winning this race. The field starts to close up together in the 2x2 customary rolling start formation. Out of turn 12. Oh, one's pulling off to the right-hand side. So we're going to have 35 starters. Lights are on. Full start called. So one driver pulled to the right-hand side of turn 12 and won't get going again. Not too sure exactly who that was, but it was a Dams racing kart. So another driver pulling off to the side of the track, very much like we saw with Dave Stevens in the junior final just a few moments ago. And it is Bolowet, and I'm trying to make out the number. Deary me, a failure for 2 Dams racing karts, one of which was at the sharp end. So we're going to restart and do a full normal restart after the full start that just occurred, because the drivers now make their way out of the 12th and final corner. Red lights on the gantry, revs rise. Lights are out this time. We are underway and racing. The field makes its way into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Nearly 5 abreast coming out of turn 2. A couple of the drivers on the outside using the runoff area, which they are permitted to do on the opening lap at turns 2 and at turn 10. More squabbling as they head through turn 6 and onto the Europalan. But 2 have gotten away. And it's Tommy van der Stroys that is in the race lead. So van der Stroys leads. Second looks to be, I think, Jaden Teen. And Archie Buttle is third. So Van der Stroys leads the field, having started on the outside of row 2. Lap 1 completed. Van der Stroys, Teen, Buttle, Jort van Wyk, Macaulay Bishop, who's been, thanks to, who's been suffering with a sore throat and a migraine as well, still is going out there and giving it all guns blazing. Well done, Macaulay. Great perseverance. Lawrence Herabos, Timo Jungling, Vic Stevens, Iva Ananostiidis, and Christopher Zala has also, and it was Mathis Carnejak. That was the other Dams Racing kart that broke down. So the 351, due to start 19th, had a technical drama and retired before the restart. In the meantime, Archie Buttle has just been passed by Jort van Wyk. Here comes Macaulay Bishop up the inside of the 322. And Buttle has retaken the position. But Bishop trying to look to see if he can nose up the inside for 4th place, and does so. Waited right until the last moment. That's textbook Macaulay Bishop right there. Van der Stroys at the moment is still holding on to a lead by about a tenth and a half of this, a tenth and a half after the opening lap. Well, yeah, the opening couple of laps actually. So Archie Buttle still trying to keep with Macaulay Bishop. Don Rustico saying Ocon 5-second penalty for track limits. Wrong motorsport, I'm afraid there. And the Formula One season hasn't started yet. It's launch season at the minute before they go to Bahrain in the first weekend of March. Right, another position lost by Archie Buttle. That is going to be the 327 of Vic Stevens up to 5th. And now Van Wyk closing in on the 2 fellow Dutchmen in front. Top 3 across the line were covered by just over half a second. Timo Jungling gets through on Lawrence Herbos, and I think has just got past. I'm not too sure. Was that Macaulay Bishop in front of him? Possibly. There's the 359 of Jaden Teen, the leading DHR Lando Norris kart entry out on the circuit with 10.5 minutes to go. So 3.5 minutes completed, 10.5 to go plus an additional lap. Jaden Teen just waiting like a tiger in the reeds in the jungle to attack at the last possible moment. And now he's going to go for it. Jaden Teen up the inside of Van der Stroys through T1 to take the lead. Jort van Wyk is waiting. And Lawrence Herbos is also ahead of Macaulay Bishop, who's now dropped to 7th. Archie Buttle now 8th and is a 10th ahead of Iva Anagnostiidis, the driver in the 314, originally, well, from us, proudly sporting the Aussie flag, but now, as I said, based in Oxfordshire these days. Christopher Sala, the Austrian, rounding out the top 10 in the 371. Krik Knuren, Sverre Ubben, and then it's the Van der Pavert brothers. Mika, the youngest of the two, in front of older brother and mullet man extraordinaire, Ralph. Wout Kirstens completes the top 15. And here comes Jort van Wyk up the inside of Van der Stroys. Van der Stroys not opting to fight it, and I think that might be quite good in terms of tactics and strategy. So the main thing is Van der Stroys knows that he might have some pace in his pocket. And believe you me, when you see Van der Stroys looking at the clock and going, right, I've got 2 minutes, I'm still with them, let's go to work. And then you will see something quite spectacular. But that's if he's got the opportunity and he's still with these two drivers. Jort van Wyk is just up ahead of him. So they have still got 8.5 minutes of this race, plus an additional lap still to go. Vic Stevens has the fastest lap of the race so far. 55.257. And he's only 3.5 tenths of a second ahead of Timo Jungling, who was third at the start and now finds himself in fifth. At one point, had dropped down to around about 7th or 8th position. So anyone so far of the top 5 can win this. When Macaulay Bishop starts to close on in and tries to reel them in, so to speak, he will be one to watch on this too. And he is, I think. Let's have a look. So, Teen, Van Wyk, Van der Stroys, Stevens. Van der Stroys goes up the inside of Jort Van Wyk, through for P2 at turn 2. Stevens in 4th, Jungling 5th. Herbols, Bishop, Christoph Sala, Archie Buttle and Ava Anagnostiidis round out the top 10. Covered by 4.665 seconds. There goes Jungling. Now that's for 4 through turn number 8. We're on lap number 8 of this race. Jungling has just put in a sub 55 second lap time. 54.976 for the young man, based out of London, family originally from Germany. Used to remember commentating on him and his brother Ralph, who is making a comeback to karting this year. Having spoken to Timo's dad at the grand finals in Bahrain last December. Luca Thiel has not had a good final, to be honest with you. He's dropped 6 places. Sverre Ubben also having a race that could have been a little bit better, but actually has made up 4 positions and is up to 11th. Started 15th on the grid, so on the inside of row number 8. So 34 drivers still circulating. We have lost Boluet and Mathis Carnajac before the starts, and that was both respective ones. So Boluet out before the first one. Mathis Carnajac pulled to the right-hand side, due to start 19th on the inside of row 10. But Jaden Teen leads after 9 laps. Van der Stroys now goes for the race lead. Vic Stevens thought he might have the door open for him as well, but that was not clearly the case. Jaden Teen goes up the inside through turn 4 on Tommy Van der Stroys. And now Vic Stevens tries to get in. So did Timo Jungling tried to get through on Van der Stroys. And there is Jort Van Wyk. Lawrence Herbols, Macaulay Bishop, all of these 7 drivers are within 2 and 2.6 seconds of each other. I think with about 3 minutes to go, things will go up another gear in the vernacular sense. There we go. Van der Stroys, I think, might have just gotten a little bit of a touch from Timo Jungling, and that dropped him from 3rd to 4th and put him in the path of Jort Van Wyk. There is Lawrence Herbols. Macaulay Bishop is 1.8 seconds from the lead after 9 laps. Ava Anagnostiidis, unfortunately, has dropped to 12th. She's been very consistently running in the top 10 all weekend long, as the Australian. So a good first effort for the 314 from Dan Holland Racing. But there is one of her teammates leading the way. Jaden Teen from the Netherlands, the 359. Has been on the podium before at the Grand Finals. 2021 as a junior, 2nd place that year behind a man who now is going to be running in single-seaters, Latvia's Tomas Stolchamanis. And now it's all for themselves. I did say that the finals do bring out a little bit of a different dynamic. And now Macaulay Bishop, with 3.5 minutes to go, now realises he's got to start pushing. But with the migraine and the sore throat that he's been suffering with, he will know what he needs to do, and he's got through. Good job there by Macaulay Bishop to squeeze up the inside of Jort Van Wyk through turn number 7 off of the Europolaan. And now Youngling, I think, is feeling a little bit, there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. Possibly not the sense of urgency, but if he goes for a Hail Mary move, it could end up probably going south very quickly if it's not executed in the right way. Okay, I think I think maybe Martin Gaskins has just pulled into pit lane. There goes Youngling through turn 2 on lap number 12 on Vic Stevens. Van der Stoys is there or thereabouts as there's a little bit of side-by-side action a bit further down the field, more towards the top 20, the bottom part of it. Sasha M has now retired on lap 6. So I'm waiting for the timing to adjust, and then I can see who has gone in, but I think I hazard a guess it's probably going to be Martin Gaskins, who was 17th. So it's like saying pick a card, any card, and hope you win the bet. Well, at the moment, it's difficult to call, even from my perspective. All of them are worthy winners, but it's about who wants it the most. And Youngling seems to be fired up. Jaden Teen parking the cart on the inside line through turn 2. Now 3. Stevens is running line astern with them, so that's 3 in a row. Van der Stoys has the ringside seat. Stevens goes high and wide to get the undercut. And then has to slot back in behind Youngling, who now goes for the race lead up the inside of Jaden Teen. Stevens gets through, so does Van der Stoys. Through one corner alone, Jaden Teen has not only lost the lead, but has been forced off the podium. With 1:20 still to go. And Van der Stoys goes defensive. It is a winner-take-all. Every one of these drivers wants to book their place at Le Mans, and Vic Stevens at turn 12 gets through on the UK's Timo Youngling. A minute to go. Including this, we'll have 3 more laps. They've been running in the low 54s to 55s. Van der Stoys runs wide. That's Macaulay Bishop now up to 3rd. Oh, and Van der Stoys and Teen tangle out of turn 3. Big time hit for both Van der Stoys and Jaden Teen coming out of turn 3. Macaulay Bishop did a number on all of them, and now Bishop has got a chance for the victory. Less than 30 seconds to go in this race, plus an additional lap. The anticipation is palpable right now, because any one of these 5 drivers, well, not possibly the driver that's just had a moment. I think that was the 339. Well, that was possibly the 339, but we have only got a couple of seconds to go. Right, on to the penultimate lap. Vic Stevens' lead is just 0.3. And there we go. It's the Dan Holland Brigade getting through, and Stevens gets muscled out. So it's Youngling, Bishop. They now lead the way. Then it's Stevens, Jort van Wyk, and I think that might be Lawrence Herboz, possibly at the end of that train. Or is it? I'll keep an eye on what's going on with this one, because we now have 0 on the timer. 1 more lap to go. Roll a dice and hope you land on your number, because this is going to be an exciting final lap. Last lap board of the weekend for the seniors, and Timo Youngling is the one to see the sign first. Here we go. Lawrence Herboz rounds out the top 5, covered by a second. Going on to our last lap. This is the point where it matters the most. You've done all the hard work, and now you've got to really kick it up another gear. Bishop has now got to try and do something if he wants to win a place on the International Trophy at Le Mans in July of this year. Youngling at the moment hanging on, as Bishop might try something, but it won't be until the last gasp. As there is a change, that's a change for 4th, but out of the final corner. Here we go. Who's teeing it up? Who's going to get the win? Youngling is going to stride forward. It's Timo Youngling that wins in seniors at the Champions Winter Trophy and provisionally books his place at the place where legends are born at Le Mans for the 2024 Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy. Macaulay Bishop takes second with Vic Stevens completing the top three after 15 and a bit minutes of racing action. It was going to be very, very close to see, but hang on a second. Timo Youngling in this race will not be is the winner on the road, because I have just seen that there has been a 5-second penalty for pushing having been applied. So that provisionally makes it Macaulay Bishop. So Timo Youngling on the road is the winner by 0.163 of a second. Vic Stevens, Jort van Wijk, Lawrence Herboz. That is going to be, well, there you go. There's the amendment. Macaulay Bishop has effectively provisionally picked up the victory thanks to the adjustment on the timing. Vic Stevens and Jort van Wijk make it a Boeven Power 2-3 on the podium, ahead of Lawrence Herboz. Mika van der Pavert, Tommy van der Stroys, Christopher Zala, Timo Youngling demoted to 8th post-race. Archie Buttle, Eva Anagnostiidis, Ralph van der Pavert, Krit Knorren, Luca Thiel, Wout Kirstens. There was also a penalty for the 356 for overtaking on the runoff area. But there you see the likes. So it would have been Zino Valka, Martin Gaiskens, Paul Hamburg, Casbos House, Luca Schlegel, Luca Bremer, Danny Shields, Pat Gubbles, Kevin Navis, Alexandre Aim. So there we have it. Pat Gubbles, Flynn Fitters, Dante Sima, Bram Plomp, Julian Sednika, Gregor Feigenschmann, Yannick Mike Gabrich and Mark Schuppmann rounding out the 31 strong. Jaden Teen actually retired after that incident with Tommy van der Stroys. Sverre Ubben, Sasha Aim, Boluet and Matthias Karnajak out.